Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I would love to have you as part of the family. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications so that you don't miss another video. Today's video is a video request by none other than my 9-year-old daughter, who's all about fidget spinners. I've been seeing these things everywhere. She asked me to make some for her, and so this is what I came up with. So if you want to see how I made these 3 fidget spinners, go ahead and keep on watching. So the first thing to start off with is some of these skateboard bearings. I got these pack of 8 from Amazon. They were about $7. I'm going to be using various gems that I have laying around in my DIY arsenal. She really likes these rings. They're like little toy rings that I got from the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to be using my hot glue gun and hot glue sticks. I'm using the Gorilla hot glue sticks. I'm also going to be using this little palette. It's a plastic palette that you use for paint, and I'm going to be using it as a mold. I'm also going to be using the 7800 all-purpose platinum bond and some of this coconut oil in order to grease the palette with to allow the glue to be easily removed, and also some of these tools right there. So first thing I did was to spray the palette, and I sprayed the coconut oil very lightly in there because coconut oil is kind of liquidy, so it kind of pulls at the bottom. And I just used my finger to make sure that it was spread out evenly. And once it was spread, I started pouring in my hot glue. I just basically pressed the trigger and I put all the hot glue into one of the little areas. And I use the ring that she really likes, and I had already cut the area of the back with the pliers, and I think you could use scissors to do this. And then once that was cut off, I just dropped it right into the glue and allowed it to dry off. And I repeated this process 3 more times, and as you can see right there, I'm going to show you that the back is very easily removable by just cutting it that way. And once I had that removed, again, I just started pouring in the glue, and then once the glue was in there, I just dropped the jewel right on top. It doesn't matter if you still have a little bit of the plastic left over because the area is deep enough so that the glue will cover all of the back. So I just drop it right in and let it dry. So I worked on that first because it is going to take a little bit of time to dry, and this is what it looks like once they're all in there. Now the bearings have this little area there that you need to remove, and I thought that removing them with a knife was the easiest. So for the next one, to prepare this bearing, I decided to use these acrylic gems that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I added the glue on the tip portion of it, all the areas that were going to be in contact with the center of the bearing, making sure that it didn't interfere with the spinning. So I did that on both sides, and as you can see, it spins pretty smoothly. The next bearing that I was working on, I decided to use the end of these knobs that I have. I had these knobs and 2 of them actually broke, and I didn't throw them out. I happened to still have them. And so the diamond portion I'm keeping for something else, but the metal portion I'm going to be using on the spinner. So all I did was glue on the bottom portion of that metal end of the knob onto the center portion of this fidget spinner, as you can see there, and it spins really nicely and really smoothly. So once I had that done, it was time to start working on the actual outside or outer portion of that spinner. So I had some of these spoon heads left over from a previous DIY, and I started gluing them together to make what looked like little wings. And once I had them glued on their backs, I just cut off the end to make it smooth enough so that I could glue it directly onto the bearing. Now they were flat, and I decided to then proceed and glue them onto the bearing directly. Now I worked on the layout of it a little bit to make sure that it was even and balanced so that it would spin properly. And once I did that and I had an idea of where I was going to put them, I just added hot glue. I'm adding hot glue for the video, but use the super glue. I will be reinforcing it later. Next, I worked on the molds that I made, and I found that the knife was the easiest way to remove them, and then all I did was glue those directly onto the bearing. So now I'm sure you're getting the hang of it. So it's pretty easy to make these things and really, really fun. All you do is create your outer portions and then you glue them onto the bearings. So I added glue and glued it on, and this is what it looks like. And once I had all 3 of them, and this is how it spins. Now it's not fully dried, so I'm gonna let it dry completely. That one was a little bit off, but it still worked pretty nicely. And this is how it spins. This is her favorite one. This is how it spins once it's dry. This is the silver one, spinning once it is dry. I really like these. I didn't think I would. I thought they were the silliest thing, but they're kind of addictive. And the silver one, I ended up adding some of these plastic butterflies that I had laying around, and because they're for her and she's so girly, I added some gems to make them like more sparkly and prettier. So she really likes that one. That one is a little bit bigger, but it does feel very light and spins very well. And I finally made another one using some acrylic gems that I had laying around. I just sandwiched 2 gems together and then glued the 2, and I made an X out of it. And also the middle portion has the diamond acrylic gem from the Dollar Tree. Once that was all glued on, this is what I ended up with. And that one's a little bit heavier, but it also spins really nicely and really smoothly and is really fun to play with. And that's it, you guys. That's all I did. Let me know in the comments below if you have kids, if they're into these fidget spinners, if you're the ones who's into the fidget spinners. Leave me a comment. Let me know which one was your favorite of the ones that I made. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Follow me on social media if you don't already do, and I will talk to you in my next video. God bless. Bye-bye.